Hello, welcome once again to our channel. I sincerely appreciate you for constantly coming to watch our videos. So today I'm going to talk about the causes of fire outbreak in our solar system. I've watched a particular video and I've observed from my experiences over the years of installations, and I need to tell the younger ones or the younger installers to observe this. I've done a lot of installations without breaking a panel or even doing installation that can cause fire outbreak, not because I am so perfect in avoiding mistakes, but because I know these principles, and each time I want to run my installations, I put these factors into consideration before any installations. And I came across this video on internet and I saw it. It was so, if I was the end user investing money in solar panel, and at the end of the whole thing you see all of them just vanish because of one mistake, oh, it'd be so sad to me. So in fact, you will be so devastated once such thing happen. So that is why I'm taking my time this moment to equally share my experience and tell you the factors you should consider before you do your installations, especially when you are taking your solar panel on top of the roof. Yes, we know that installations is actually not that simple whenever you're walking above your head. Yes, when I say above your head, because the height of the place of installation is always higher than your height. So but you need to take these things into consideration when doing that. First, what are the causes of this fire outbreak? I have a solar system that I want to run the installations. Probably it's my first time of installing and I want to do the installation. I should know these things that I'm about to apply now before I start the installation. You should know that the causes of fire outbreak is 1, faulty installations. So as an installer, you know that any installation that does not hold properly, the first person to be blamed is the installer. So how do you avoid those faults not to happen? Because whenever that is done and the system fails, the first person to blame is the engineer. So if you are an engineer, a solar installer, you should be careful enough not to receive the blame. Do all you could do to avoid every avoidable mistakes. Of course, the second one is substandard or damaged components. A lot of people will come to the markets, like, because of what they have at hand, they wouldn't like to make the right choice because they'll be considering their budget. So you as an installer, it is in your position to explain to them in details that these are the things that are required. This will be the outcome of this when we use this. Like when you are expected to use 300 watts by design and you decided to go for 150 watts. Is it bad? No, it's not bad, but what is actually required is that you should increase the size of the panel. Since it is 300 then and you want to use 150 to meet up with the installation, all you need to do is to increase the number of 150 in order to compensate the losses that will occur during installation. In the same way, you should avoid electrical spark or arcing. Of course, when you run your installations and see that during connection there is always a spark of electricity, so if that consistently happens in a system, it will be creating damage to the system, and by so doing the arcing can jump from positive to the negative, causing what we call short circuit. By so doing, an explosion of the system can take place. But if you avoid it on time, you will definitely enjoy it. The next thing you need to equally know is that there is also a tendency of you in avoiding inverter issues. When your inverter is having issue, don't connect any solar panel to it until you have isolated the damaged components, and after that you can now allow the system to work with the inverter. Then do DC isolation. Make sure that the DC connections are done separately at a place. Don't combine it with the AC connections. Isolate the failed switches and also ensure that proper maintenance is carried out. In Nigeria, maintenance is an issue to us. So poor maintenance have led to a damage or a collapse of an effective system because it wasn't properly managed. So you need to check out the routine check, observe the things that are going on in the system, find out what is needed to be done per time. If there is battery, you need to, if it is tubular battery, check for the distilled water in it, check the gauge. Then for the connections also, always check your cables to ensure that they are properly connected, they are tightly done, not a loose. Once it is loose, there is a tendency of it causing heat to the system where it is terminated. Then avoid overloading. For instance, when you are about to run 300 watts connections, 300 watts solar panel, and you are running like 12, instead of you to use 10 mm or 6 mm gauge of flexible cable, you decided to go for 1.5 or even 2 mm. Sometimes you choose 4. So you actually know that the current that will be generated based on the number of panels and the size of the panels you are using will be high. Why going low? The moment you go low, there is a high tendency that when the current is generated, because it is higher than the gauge of the cable, the insulators in the cable will heat up, and by so doing it will be melted down, causing outbreak, fire outbreak, because they need to explode. There will be too much heat in the system, and all these things are the factors that when you put them in place and master them very well, whenever you do your installation, it will be in a balanced mode that your system can last longer than you expected it to be. And today, I want you to just use a few minutes, watch what's happened in this solar panel. As you are watching, ensure you comment, like. Then at the end of the whole thing, always ensure that you engage a professional in installation. Don't use somebody that you are not sure of what he's doing in the installation or in a solar field. Always ensure you engage a professional, because it is too bad that you invest a huge amount of money to enjoy your system because of one little mistake that can be avoided. Now come in and damage the entire solar system for you. So I know you love this video, and I would like to share more information to you. Just watch the video and see you in my next video.